Good morning, friends. I met a young man. I actually have not met him. His dad called me and connected me with him, but he wrote a book called Letters to Grandpa. His name's Patrick. And he reached out through our local bookstore, the Bookman, where I left some cards because people are always asking my friend Susan, who works there, if they know how to get published, if they have something that they want to get published. So anyway, so we met that way, and this young man wrote letters to Grandpa because his grandma had dementia, and after she passed away, his grandpa went through a very, very hard time. So he wrote these letters as encouragement to his grandpa, but there's so much of his like self-reflection in there and how he looks at life. And so he has 19 different topics. They're very, very short little chapters. And he published it. So he emailed me the other night and said, "Hey, my book's published." He's very excited. And it's on his website. So we're going to leave a link to his website in the comments. But as I reflected back on my business, I was telling Melanie, a lot of times I look at the dollar signs and they're not really there, a little bit. But as his email came into me the other night and he said, I couldn't have done my book without you, because they don't know anything about book publishing. He and his dad are not editors. They don't know how to edit. His dad actually is an ophthalmologist in the area. So like, that's not his specialty. And he wouldn't have gotten his book out. And I thought, you know what, that's more meaningful than any dollar sign. So I was telling Melanie, this time of the year is always a little hard for me. And I don't know if it's hard for some of you with things that you didn't quite meet, with goals you didn't quite meet. And there are other ones, but my business goals, like, I have to sit down with our accountant again, and have her look at it and go, another year in the red. But you know what? I thought this year, I don't think I'm going to care, because I'm going to think about Patrick and about the impact that my business made. And I think a lot of us make that we don't realize and minimize or don't recognize at all. And we talked yesterday about our two words, or my two words too, and grace and giving. And I just think it's good to reflect. It's good to reflect, but it's also good to give ourselves grace and to focus on the things that really matter. And they may not show up on paper. Mine are not going to show up in dollar signs, but I don't really care. So anyway, that's my little thing. We're going to put his link. He is a wonderful young man. He's a teenager in the area, and his insight and wisdom and compassion for our people is amazing. So, and I can't remember if I said, but part of his book proceeds are going to go to the Alzheimer's Association for people like his grandma. So he's just a really gentle-hearted soul, and I want to put his book out there and think about supporting him. And if you do, thank you. And if you don't, that's okay too. But I'm trying to promote him as much as I can. So anyway.
Yeah, I think so much of what you and I do, especially in our businesses, don't necessarily show up in dollar signs. And Deb and I really are okay with that. But at the same time, it's like, if people, people who have businesses, a lot of times, they need that to survive. And thankfully, we're not in that situation right now. But it's like to have a business and to sit down with the accountant. It's like, okay, so like, did you make any money? So anyway, we are thrilled that you're here. Just so thrilled that you are part of the Sprightly community, and you are just so important to us. And if there's anything we can do to help support where you're going, or support your journey, or just give you encouragement, please reach out, because that's what we do. It's what we love to do. And I know we talk about it all the time, that, if you're local to either of us and you want to meet for a cup of coffee or tea or lunch or dinner, whatever, let us know, because we love to meet over coffee and get to know you better as well. So
yeah, we do. We definitely do. So yeah. So as you face this new year, focus on what really matters, and it's people and taking tea. So we are, like Melly, you said, we're very grateful for each one of you, and don't hesitate ever to reach out.
Absolutely. All right, everybody, we will see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.